morning, good people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel, happen to click on this video. Welcome. I'm Cebile, and today I am joined by the amazing Nolwazi Thabethe, who will be sharing us her journey in becoming a mom. Welcome, Nolwazi.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, let us just take it a little bit back before you became a mom. So, tell us a little bit about Nolwazi before she became a mom.
I don't even know how to explain Nolwazi before she became a mom because I feel like I've been a mom for so long that it's become my life. But before I became a mom, like obviously I was all about me. I was, in some sense, I wasn't the person that I am right now. Before I became a mom, I was self-centered in some ways. So I guess becoming a mom has made me a better person. I can say that I wasn't the best version of myself.
Yeah.
I'm still not. I'm still trying to be the best version of myself. But becoming a mom has helped me become better in some sense.
Then how did you find out you were pregnant?
Finding out I was pregnant, I didn't expect myself to be pregnant. I don't know how do I not expect myself to be pregnant when I'm having sex, but I wasn't anticipating pregnancy. I just thought that I've been doing it and nothing is going to happen. So I wasn't even worried like that I was going to get pregnant. I was fine and there were no serious symptoms of pregnancy. And I remember I had two other friends who got pregnant around the same time. So I was laughing at them like, oh my God, you guys are pregnant and you're both like friends. And then I think a week later, I actually found out that I was also pregnant. I was a third pregnancy. So I was at the gym exercising and then I just felt more tired than normal. So I went back home early. When I got back home, I remember I was texting you a lot about the symptoms, whatever those small yana symptoms that I was having. And then I got home and then I decided to go buy the test. And it was around 2, I think.
Yeah.
I bought the test, I took the pregnancy test, and it came out with 2 lines.
Positive.
So that's how it happened.
So now, because you have to break it to your family, how was that experience having to break it to your family? We know, like, you've grown from a Christian family, so I think it's hard to actually break news like that because you're out of wedlock, and then now you have to tell them that I'm pregnant, and it's like it's a taboo thing. So how was that? Yeah.
It was the most awkward conversation I've ever had with my mother. Like, because I literally just said to her, like, we were laying in bed, and then I was like, Mom, I'm pregnant. And then she looked at me, and then she continued with whatever that she was doing. I think we were watching TV.
Yeah.
Like, she just didn't believe it, and she didn't even take it seriously. And then a few days later, she came back to me. She said, you said you're pregnant. I'm like, yeah. She's like, how? I'm like, because she wasn't even thinking that she didn't know that I have a boyfriend. She didn't know that I was having sex. So to her, it's like shocking to find out that her only child is pregnant and she doesn't even know who the baby daddy is, or she doesn't even know that she has a boyfriend. So it was shocking to her, and we didn't even tell the rest of the family until I was like 5 months. Not that like I was ashamed or we were ashamed, but we're just still trying to figure out the whole process and everything. Yeah. So that's how I had to tell my mom, just randomly just say it.
So during that transition of from being Nolwazi to now having to be pregnant, how does that had an effect on your relationship with God, if any?
It did affect my relationship with God because that's also one of the reasons why my mom was so shocked, because I was dedicated to God. Like, I was committed to God. Like, I was the no sex before marriage girl. Like, I'm not gonna fall for that temptation. Like, I love Jesus. I'm gonna wait for my husband, and then we're gonna get married, and then we're gonna have babies. So I felt guilty. I felt ashamed. So I didn't go to church. I stopped going to church for a long time until I had my child. So I knew that if I go to church while pregnant without being married, everybody's going to look at me. Or at least that's what I thought, that people are going to look at me and be like, yo, you're not supposed to be doing this. So I had shame, and therefore I I didn't even talk to God as much as I used to, because I was like, God, I've embarrassed you and I've made a mockery out of your name. So it made me distant myself from God. And yeah.
And then now, because now during that process you were distant from God, how do you try to to have mold like to mold back the relationship between you and God? Because after all, we're the one that have to take a step. God is always there waiting for us. So how did you now said, okay, I have to come back to God in a way? Yeah, so you can continue praying and all those things without feeling as if you are not worthy to pray. Yeah.
I think you have to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for what happened, because God already has forgiven you. When you go to God and in prayer and be like, God, I did want to do it, forgive me. He forgives you immediately, but you have to learn to forgive yourself, because every time you be like praying, you feel that guilt. But how can I pray while I'm pregnant and I'm still not married and everything? You have to forgive yourself and learn to accept that you are human and you make mistakes. I'm not saying that we should be making as many mistakes as we do, but you have to forgive yourself and learn to love yourself during the process of forgiveness, because sometimes we just judge ourselves too much and you put in shame for yourself. Like nobody is putting those shame whatever, nobody is saying whatever those things to you, but you are saying those things to yourself. So once you learn to forgive yourself, you can go back to God with confidence and actually go back to church with confidence and be like, yo, I fixed my mistake with God, so I can go back to God and be confident and learn to trust that everything is going to be okay, even if the world can condemn me, but the one that matters the most hasn't condemned me and he has forgiven me.
Okay, that's nice. So, okay, now transitioning from being Nolwazi that is pregnant to actually being a mom, getting to hold your baby.
Oh, I remember that day. Like I had like 12 hours of labor. Don't get pregnant, guys. It's a trap. Like it's too much. It was 12 hours of labor and I was so excited to meet my child. I've been excited. I've been anticipating meeting him for so long. So when I finally held him in my arms, I was sure that I was going to cry, because I'm such an emotional wreck. I was confident that I'm going to hold him and I'm going to cry. But for some reason, I didn't cry. I was so overwhelmed with so many emotions. I just looked at my child and I laughed. Like I started giggling, like, oh my God, this is my baby. And he was so beautiful. And he was the yellowest bone ever. He was so yellow. And I was so shocked. Is this really my child? Is this really my baby? If my mom wasn't in the room, like during the labor and everything and giving birth, and then somebody came and gave me this baby, I was like, nope, this is not my child, because he was completely different from like what I expected.
Now that you are a mom and having him, how was like actually the journey of mothering him, starting to mother him?
It was at first it was the most amazing journey. Like I always, every night when I sleep with him, like he would be right here every night. Like I never, even if like I would put him on the side to sleep for like a few hours, but then later I would grab him and just put him on my chest. Like I was so attached to him. Like I fell in love with him from the first moment that I saw my child. I was like, oh my God, I love this person. He's finally here. This is a love that I've never experienced before in my life, and I will treasure him forever. So like I was comfortable with everything. Like I transitioned very, very, very well. For some reason I felt like this is my calling. Like I've been meant to be a mom. So it was nice. It was really nice.
Okay. At any point in time, did you feel like you lose yourself? You know, like moms sometimes when they like first time moms or any time, because even if second time moms, they do face such things whereby they lose themselves after having a child and anything. Did you have that phase where you feel like you lost yourself?
I did experience that. Like I'm not sure if it's postpartum depression, because I feel like it was so long after I've had my child where I started to be different, because I changed. I don't know how I changed. It's like overnight I just became completely different. I became distant from him. I became less loving and less caring, and I don't know what happened. Like, I was angry. Like, I was the angriest person ever. So I would have good times with my baby. Like, we would be having fun, chilling and everything. But then there will come a time when he's crying a lot and I don't even know what to do. So it would really affect me. Like, I'd be frustrated and emotional and everything. So I did experience a lot of emotions at once during that time, and I didn't know how to deal with them, to the point where it started to affect my relationship with him and also with my mom and everybody else around me. So I I wasn't myself. That's all I can say. I wasn't the me that I know, or at least I thought that's the me that I know. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, so I wasn't okay.
So during that process, were you able like to ask for help, maybe whenever needed, when you felt like, nah, I, I'm not okay to be with him? Were you able to ask for help around, or yeah, we just see we're winging it?
You know me, like, I'm the kind of person that I can do it all. I know everything. Like, don't help me, like, whatever. I've got this, I've got this. So I didn't really ask for help from anybody. Even when my mom tried to help me with him, like, I was like, no, I got this, leave it. So, like, that's just how most of us, we think like we can run the world as women. But I couldn't do it, obviously. But for some reason, I guess maybe it's pride, I
Yeah.
didn't feel comfortable to like talk to my mom or be like, okay, I'm going through these things, I'm facing all these emotions. And sometimes I'll be like, I want to talk to somebody, but what if somebody receives me as like, oh, you're just being a bad mom? They don't want to see that there's actually a deeper problem, or they're just gonna judge the situation. So I guess that's why I never felt comfortable to even talk to my friends or anybody and be like, guys, I'm not okay emotionally, I'm going through 1, 2, 3. So it was difficult for me to talk to somebody and actually get to the root of the problem. So that's why the problem escalated longer than maybe it would have not if I had spoken to somebody and spoke out and like, I need help. Like, emotionally, I'm not okay. Because I remember there was a night where I was crying, like crying so much, and I wanted to just bang the door and be like, Mom, I'm not okay. And I needed her so desperately, but for some reason I didn't. I just cried and just went to sleep. So it wasn't easy for me to ask for help.
So how did you manage to pull out from that situation? For because I guess you're no longer there. It was a phase. It passed. So how were you able to pull out? Were there things that you maybe tried to implement for you to be able to pull out from that situation? How do you actually realize?
Exactly. Like, I'm just gonna say God. Like, I'm just gonna say God. It wasn't by might, it wasn't by power, but it was God. Because for some reason I feel like He made me see myself that, yo, this is how you are, this is who you have become, this is how you are towards your child, this is how you are towards everybody. And I don't think it was just my child. I know it wasn't just my child, it was everybody around me. For some reason I just didn't have patience, I didn't have love, I didn't have peace, I didn't have joy. So I was projecting it on everybody else that was around me. So I remember this one time I was with my mom and my son, and we were just watching this video of him doing all the baby things, babies do, excited and everything. And I remember mom asking me a question, and then when I answered her, I had like the angriest face ever. And when I watched that video, I was like, damn, is this really me? Like, is this really who I am? Is this really how I am to everybody else? And that made me really, really sad. Like, it made me feel like the most horrible person on earth. So I literally had to go to God and be like, God, this is me. I don't know how I am the way that I am. I don't know why I'm so angry. I don't know why I have so many emotions that are negative inside of me. So I'm asking you to fix whatever that's broken inside of me, because I don't know what's broken inside of me. I don't know why I'm always so angry. I don't know why I treat people the way that I treat them. I don't know why I snap at everything. I don't know why I can't be the mom that my child needs. So it just made me see myself like, I don't want my son to look at me and be like, this woman is toxic to me. I don't want my son to look at me 10 years from now and be like, my mom didn't love me. She didn't give me the love and attention that I deserve. So it made me want to be a better person. I guess having him has made me want to be a better version of myself.
That's so good. That's so good. So now, because you are a mom that have gone through all of this and still you have a personal relation, like your personal life, how do you juggle and manage your personal life and the motherhood, like being a mom and your personal life?
I mean, I'm a boring person, guys. Like, I don't really have much going on for me. So, like, my child is like my world. I do want my own time, like to just chill and just not be around him for a while. But I'm just boring. That's how that's how I am by nature. Like, I just love to chill at home and just watch TV and just eat and whatever. So, like, my personal life isn't affected.
Okay, so
After becoming a mom, yeah, it's not really affected.
did it maybe kind of have an effect as well with people around you, like your friends, navigating friendships and all that?
Honestly speaking, no. That I'm able to. I think I'm a good friend. I think I don't know. Like I
Yeah.
avail myself to my friends. Thank
Yeah.
you. I avail myself, and like I'm always on my phone. I'm busy, but I'm always on my phone. So like I always have time for my friends. So they're not really affected that much. I think. I hope they're not affected that much, because most of my friends have kids, so they
Yeah.
understand that we have to make our kids a priority. It's only just the few friends you that don't have the few is just you that don't have kids. But at the same time, like I'm always talking to you, so I don't think I don't talk to you or have time for you or any other friend of mine. Yeah.
So most of moms experience this thing of people having to give expectations or words like do this, do that for your kids, some things like that. Do you get those?
Oh my
And
God.
how do you manage them?
Oh my God.
The
Like,
outside noise.
yo, it's too much noise. It's too much, yo. And I'm very impatient with people. Like, I try to be patient, but I'm the kind of person that wishes people could shut up. Like, just shut up and just let me do things my way, because I'm surrounded by so many people that want me to do things the way that they want me to do them. And I'm the kind of person that I want to do things my way. Like, I want people to understand that we don't think the same way, we don't reason the same way, we're all different. So allow me to do things my way and allow me to make my own mistakes, like so that I can learn from them. If you let me like do something that is wrong and then I have to see that it's wrong so that I learn. So hey, too much noise, too much too much noise, and I hate noise.
Do you speak up though?
Sometimes, and sometimes when I speak up, like I speak up when I'm fed up. So so the things that I'm gonna say, they're not gonna be nice. Like I speak up when I'm like, you know what, I've been patient. I'm a very patient person in some sense. There's certain things that I'm patient about and certain things that I'm not patient about. Like when somebody's talking a lot, I try to be patient and just count. Okay, number one, they're doing it again for the fifth time. So when I get to the sixth time, all hell will break loose. Like you're gonna see me. So I try to be nice, but it's not easy. Some people are just too much.
Yeah, and sometimes it's because like you are a young mom, so people with experience, they tend to think that, oh, okay, because they have experience, they can just push it on you, and you have to do the same because they had a lot of children before, so you know nothing about having a kid. This is your first kid, so they just push things onto you so that so that you can also do that.
But sometimes I do too much. Like I need to sit down and just calm down.
Yeah, and let them
just
be.
let me make my own mistakes.
Yeah, and enjoy the journey. Like get to experience your journey in your own way. So anything that you can say to anyone who is just stepping into becoming a mom, young mom?
You're gonna have to do a lot of self-forgiving because you're gonna make mistakes, and you have to try and not be a super mom. Like you can't do everything on your own. You can't. Even if you try, at some point you're gonna get overwhelmed, and it's okay to not want to be around your child. It doesn't make you a bad mom just because you want your own time, because you also have to take care of you in order for you to be the best mom to your child. If you're feeling overwhelmed, tired and everything, how are you going to be there for your child? So you need to allow yourself to separate from your child and have your own personal life, but at the same time not feel guilty about it. It's okay to make mistakes. As a parent, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make a lot of mistakes, trust me. You're going to make so many mistakes, but it doesn't mean that you're a bad mom. It just means you're trying to be the best that you can be to your child. So forgiving yourself is one thing that I just feel like is important, because sometimes you do certain things to your child and you feel like, I shouldn't have done that. And if you continue to carry that guilt, it's gonna torment you. So learn to just forgive yourself and just go with the flow, knowing it. We're all winging it.
So to a Christian girl that is just got pregnant and is experiencing that shame and just have distanced themselves to God, what can you say to them?
The same thing that I said for when you're being a mom, forgive yourself. You don't have to be ashamed. You don't have to carry the shame. Even if people are going to throw shame to you, doesn't mean that God is doing the same thing. Like, all that matters is God. If you're going to go to God and be like, God, I repent, I surrender my life, I give you everything, I messed up, and you truly repent and you change, it doesn't matter what everybody else is saying. It does not matter. They are not God. At the end of the day, you have to remember that God is the only one that truly matters. They're going to judge you. People are judging you for even the smallest things, everything. So why must you always feel ashamed for getting pregnant without being married and everything? Just forgive yourself and just go back to God. And work on rebuilding your relationship, and try to make sure that you never make the same mistake again, and try to make sure that you walk on the right path. Don't allow people to make you feel less than. Don't allow people to make you feel shame. You are not a bad person just because you got pregnant. We all make mistakes. Those people that are going to be persecuting you first, they're the ones that are doing way worse things than you actually are. So
sometimes it's just because yours got
out
so
like
that people can
evidence.
see.
There's evidence for my works.
Exactly. And then just that you didn't get pregnant and then maybe you treat someone in a different way.
People are killing their babies when you kept yours, and then you're going to have to live with the shame. Guys, just carry yourself with pride and just be like, God forgave me. You guys don't matter. That's all I can say.
And any words that you can say to your mom? Because now you've experienced motherhood, you've been a mom, so I think maybe it made a different picture about your mom as well when you got to see like experience motherhood. So any words that you can say to your mom?
I have a million words to say to my mom. A million words are not even enough. My mom is, I can't even use words because she's everything to me. My mom is my friend. My mom is home. Like she's been my rock. Like when I was in labor, she was the one that was rubbing my back. Like not to pain, so much labor pains. So from day one, she's always been there for me. And for her to be like, okay, fine, you're pregnant, you're gonna have this baby, you're not married and everything, but still I love you, my child. I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna make sure that you and your baby are okay. That's something that not everybody's gonna experience in life. So for her to have accepted my child and have accepted the situation without any judgment, I low-key think she was excited about it. She's not gonna say it out loud and be like, yeah, I was excited, I wasn't angry that much. She tried to be angry, but but at some point she was okay with it. So I'm grateful that she loves me. I'm grateful that she loves my child. I'm grateful that she's always making sure that he's okay. She loves him more than she loves me. I'm 100% sure. So I'm grateful that she has my baby. Like, I know that if I were to die today, like, and he would be okay, he would be more than okay. I trust her with everything when it comes to my child. So I am grateful for the mom that she is to me. I'm grateful for the unconditional love that she's shown me and my child. And I'm grateful that I will never ever be alone as long as I have her in life. I will never ever be alone in this journey of motherhood as long as I have her. And she's the best mom in the world. Like, she really is, and I'm grateful for everything.
Oh,
Shop, my nails.
Any mom guilt that you have?
I have a lot of guilt. When I was going to whatever that I was going to, I have a guilt of that. Like, okay, maybe if I had spoken faster or sooner, maybe I wouldn't have experienced it more. I have guilt of not being able to provide for my child as much as I wish I would provide for him. There are certain things that he needs from me as his mother that I cannot do. I wish my son was in school right now, but I can't afford that. So I have that guilt. I have the guilt of maybe if I say no to him, should I have said yes? Should I have said no? So sometimes you don't know where you must be tough mom and all of that, and then sometimes you end up feeling guilty about it. Yeah, so we're all gonna experience mom guilt in some way or another.
What have you learned about yourself through him? Or just mothering him about yourself?
Yeah, I've learned a lot. Like, I've learned that I wasn't as patient as I thought I was. I've learned that in order for me to be the best version of myself, I have to pray. There's no other way. Like, he's taught me to be more prayerful. I have learned that it's important to take care of yourself emotionally and every other way so that you're gonna be the best for your child. He's taught me to be more loving. He's taught me to want to be a better version of myself, because every time I look at him, I'm like, I want him to look at me and be like, my mom is the best. Understanding that I will fail in some sense there and there, but I want him to look at me and be like, yo, my mom is the greatest mom ever. So he's teaching me to want to be a better person, to want to be a better version of myself, to be healthy in every way that I can be. So in some sense, it's making me a better version of myself, because I want him to look at me and be proud and not feel any shame or not be broken. Or one thing that's very important to me is that I tell myself that I don't want my child to be broken because of me.
Yeah.
I don't want him to look at me like my mom was toxic. So in that way, I learn to like go back, look at myself and look at what can I change? How can I improve? How can I be a better person to make sure that he is going to grow up and be a better person? Because he looks at what I do, not what I say. So I have to make sure that I'm the best version of me so that he can learn to be the best version of himself.
Oh, thank you, Nolwazi, for coming. Thank you for sharing your story. Some people, like, they don't share about motherhood much, especially the bad side of it, where you get to experience your guilt and have all those things. Thank you for coming and just being, just to open up a little bit about becoming a young mom. Yeah. So I hope that you've learned something from her, and you're going to pick one or two things that you can get from her. And to those that are still mothering, that are young moms, that they have something that they can learn from Nolwazi's journey. And just know that it's a journey. It's not something that you just figure it out all and everything. You just stepping wherever that you can. Thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe, like, comment, and share with anyone that you think will enjoy this video. Thank you, Nolwazi, for coming.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.